Okay, so it's day 2 of the week. Not as nice as yesterday. It's still a nice looking day, but it's snowing a bit. That's hail. Very little, but anyway, it's a bit chilly, a bit nippy out. Anyway, you got to see this real fast. One of my neighbors, I don't know if you can see it, put face masks on all their little things out there. That's funny. Anyway, it's day 2 of the week after a really, really, really amazing week for, I'm assuming, most of us, from what I've heard. Let's do our best to make sure we're doing that again this week. We need to make as much as we can, because we all should realize that as soon as the restaurants open back up, we're going to take a big hit. I hope we don't. I really hope we don't, and I'm going to bust my hump to make sure I can still make as much as I need to. Hopefully not as many hours. But when the restaurants open back up, people are going to go out. They're going to go out to eat. And that's probably going to last, a few weeks or so, that we're not going to make. Definitely not as much as we where we are now. And probably not as much as we were before. At least for a few weeks. So it'll always go back to normal, so we'll be fine in the long run, obviously, but so just soak it up while you can. Did you set a goal yet? And this might not even be your second day. It's my second day. It's a lot of our second days. You might not even be planning on going out to the weekend, but regardless, did you set your goal? I figured $1,800 for the week for me at minimum. That's like $257 a day average for 7 days. I'm at it was at $276, I think, when I finished last night. Another guy on here, I forget which group it was, said he did about $245 between 11 and 9, but also took a 2-hour break. So I'm a little jealous there. Now, he said his key was that he didn't take anything less than $8 on DoorDash and less than $12 on Grubhub. So I didn't do that. I didn't take anything less than what I normally take. But I didn't set my bar that high, because it was Monday. It was kind of slow. I didn't want to not make anything. So anyway, there's a good reason right there. You don't take the low offers. You get stuck. I got stuck last night on one of those, and I dropped off. The guy wouldn't answer his phone, couldn't find his house, because he was in some weird ass apartment building that looked like a business building, like one of those little business buildings. But it was pitch black, couldn't see any numbers on anything. Wouldn't answer his phone, wouldn't return a text message. Finally, I found it, put his stuff on his door, and basically said, "There's your food." But it wasn't a bad order. I mean, it technically was a bad order. In itself, it wasn't a bad order. But that's the key. Remember, like I said, set your goals. Make sure you know what your time is worth. Again, I believe every one of us are worth more than $20 an hour. At least before gas on a slow day. Gas is cheap right now. I'm putting about $2 a gallon in my tank, and that's because I have to run premium. But normally, most of you guys are putting $2 a gallon in your tank anyway on when it's normal. So and I'm sure most of you are averaging at minimum 18, 20 miles a gallon, minimum, unless you're driving, some big honking truck. So you got to remember, an average trip's going to run you probably about 5-6 miles, 5 miles, sometimes 10 miles. But at $2 a gallon, 10 miles is $1. It costs you $1 to do that. So if it takes you 10, 15 miles out of your region, that's up to you if you want to take it or not. But I would definitely make sure that's 100%, worth it. Like, there's some padding on that. I'm not going to run, from the very corner of my area on Grubhub, on like Cascades Boulevard, over to Hartville or over to Atwater, like I did the other day, for less than like $20 some, because now I got to drive back. So you got to remember, you always got to drive back if you leave your region, if it's not busy enough for them to send you another order to pull you back in. So you got to take that into account as well. So your gas does matter, obviously, the wear and tear and stuff, but your time, I figure that into my time. I $20 an hour should cover at minimum what you need. And that's good money. I mean, there's people who don't make anywhere near that, and they do a lot more work than we do. I mean, and EMTs, paramedics, electricians, skilled laborers, are making $12, $13, $14, $15, $18 an hour. And if you put your mind to it on this, you don't need any skills other than driving and maybe a little bit of people skills. If you don't have that, you should probably learn some people skills. I've seen some of you. Hopefully not you guys in the group, but I've seen, and I know some of you have seen other ones too. Get some people skills. Anyway, there's no skill required. You drive, you pick up food, and you drop it off. I mean, this is like entry level crap, and you have the ability to make buku bucks. I mean, you have the ability to make money. You make your own money here. So set your goals, make money, make a lot of money. Make money. It's good. It's a good thing. I mean, don't be a greedy asshole like I am, but get your money. I'm just rambling till I pull into Panda Express, which I'm probably going to sit there for 10 minutes in line. So if you haven't set your goal and get your money. I set mine for the week. I average that per day. I don't always hit that day, but I try to make it up for the next day. And again, like I said, if you have to stay out later, stay out later. You have to get up early. If you can't stay out later, get up earlier. Some of you can't do that. I understand that. You can only do what you can do. In those instances, hustle. Make it work. If you're only running DoorDash, you can't get on Grubhub. Get on Uber Eats. Get on Postmates. I know that's a dirty word, Postmates. They suck. But sometimes they have some good bonuses, and every so often you might get 3 or 4 in a row. I got 3 or 4 in a row one night, and each had like a $10 bonus on it. I was like, oh, that's great. I loved it. But obviously that rarely happens. So, Postmates will have a $10 bonus for 2. You get 1, and then you don't get you make $3. So, get another platform. Okay, if you got a bigger vehicle, sign up for Roadie. I don't know how well that works. I talked to another guy, said he kind of does that if it comes in and it's worth it. I was going to do it, but my vehicle is not that big, and I figure it's going to be very few and far between that I'm going to have somebody want me to move something for them or deliver something that's going to fit in my tiny little car. So find another platform to make up for it. If you're only running Grubhub, sign up for DoorDash. Same thing, Uber Eats, Postmates, Instacart. They need shoppers. They don't need shoppers. They need to pay their shoppers better is what they need to do. Find something else to add to it. This really isn't always going to be super profitable running one app. Sometimes it is. I know some of you are running just DoorDash. I know that girl I talked about the other day. She hit